Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking to you about something that hits really close to home with me. And, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys watching this right now have experienced it. But, the subject I'm going to be talking about is mental and emotional abuse. Um, you know, with physical abuse, it's easier to tell because people, like, they'll have bruises on them and stuff. And, you can physically tell that something's wrong and something's not right. But when you're getting mentally and emotionally abused, like, you can't always tell, because people that are abused this way, 99.9% of the time, they don't tell anybody. They don't think that they're strong enough to get help, and you are. I promise you are. For so long, from personal experience, like, excuse me, for so long, I dealt with all kinds of mental and emotional abuse, like, torturous. Um, I was so fragile and so weak at the age of 13 when it all started that I was too blind to see that this was abuse. Um, to make a long story short, my biological mom found me when I was 13 on MySpace. We talked, and I found out she was my mom, and I loved her with everything I had. I wanted that mom love that I never felt before from her. I'm adopted, so, you know, I have adoptive parents that love me, but when that happened, like, I was already fighting with my adoptive parents anyway because I had a really bad anger problem because I didn't want to face anything that was going on. I thought everybody was out to get me, that everybody hated me, so my shield was anger for a long time. And then when everything with my mom hit me, I was done being angry. I was so depressed. I was so tired of feeling like I was nothing. So I put all my hope in her, and things happened. We both fought, argued, you name it. We probably said it, and things got really, really bad for me. At first, I talked to her for 10 months before anybody even found out. Well, my twin sister knew because I had to tell her, but because I wasn't about to keep it from her. I didn't know that I was adopted. And when it hit me, when it really, really hit me that I was adopted, my life completely fell apart in more ways than you can imagine. Like, I was so depressed and so down and so suicidal. Like, it is only by the grace of God that I am sitting here making this video today. If it hadn't been for God seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself, I would be 6 feet in the ground right now, because I tried to commit suicide more than once. And, when I went through that, the things that went through my mind was, I'm worthless, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, my mom didn't love me, she didn't care enough to keep me, what's wrong with me, what did I do wrong, how can I fix this, am I not enough, is there anything I can do to change myself to make her happy so she loves me in the way I should be loved, does she love me, does she care, is she really gonna want to be here for me after she's been gone for 12 and a half years of my life, you know? Like, when something like that hits you, like, your life can change just like that. Everything I ever knew, my family, everything that I grew up believing was gone. All of it. I was so hurt because my adoptive parents didn't tell me I was adopted until I found out the hard way. And I know everything happens for a reason, and it's only made me a really strong person, but man, when I found out, I was in shock. There is no words to describe what I felt. I can't even begin to tell you how bad it was for me. And, I had to be the one that went to my twin sister and said, hey sis, the people downstairs that we've lived with all our life, they're not our parents. It was such a scary thing for me. So for a long time, I went through, a really, really bad stage of self-harm and a really, really bad stage of absolutely hating myself, hating everybody, hating everything. I thought there was no hope for me. I tried to be the girl that was like, excuse me, I'm sorry. I tried to be the girl that accepted it and, you know, tried to move on, but I couldn't come to terms with it in my heart that this woman that just met me, that I've, hung out with, that I've texted for almost a year, was my mom. I couldn't come to terms with it. I felt so worthless, so pathetic, so heartbroken and lonely. There are so many nights that I sat up just bawling my eyes out, bawling and crying and screaming and just cutting myself until I would wake up. I would cut my wrists or my legs or my stomach or my thighs or my back, anywhere. I would wake up and like 2 hours later and I would still be bleeding. That's how bad it was for me. I had bracelets from here down. And, always in hoodies and sweatpants. Not a day went by that I didn't cut for 3 years. And it was really bad because I didn't know that I was getting mentally abused or emotionally abused, because I have my adoptive family over here telling me, we love you, we're so sorry we didn't tell you, it's not that we don't care about you, it's not that you're worthless. And then I have my mom on the other side, I love you so much, I'm sorry that you get treated the way you do at home. So it was just this big old circle of emotional pain, and I wanted to die. I did. Like, if there was anything I wanted more than my mom to love me, I wanted to be dead, because I was so tired of the pain that I was feeling every single day. Like, it drug me down to the point where I would lay in my bed and I would not get up for school. I refused. Got to the point where I couldn't cry anymore because I just depended on cutting. I would cut myself at school, of course away from everybody else, but I would cut myself at school. I had razor blades in my pillow. I had razor blades in my purse. I had razor blades in my locker. I had them in earring cases. You name it, I had it. There is not one part of me that regrets this, that regrets being this strong now. Because if I wasn't this strong, I could never be telling you, hey, cutting isn't the answer. You need to step up, and you need to love yourself for who you are. If someone is mentally torturing you and tearing you apart and they're saying they love you but they're doing something different, you need to walk away. You need to get out of that before you have what happened to me happen to you. It is hell. It is torturous. It's awful. You don't want it for yourself. If you're getting hurt mentally, you need to talk to somebody while you can. Do not hold it in. It will kill you. It will rip you apart to the point where you just you don't care if you live or die. And nobody seems to understand that just because you smile doesn't always mean that you're okay. I had all my friends turn on me. I had no one but my twin sister Chelsea, and I praise God for her, because if it wasn't for her, then I would not be here right now. She has saved me from suicide so many times that it's not even funny, and I've saved her. When you have that special person that you can depend on, things still suck. They're still horrible. They're still awful. But I'm here to tell you today that you are stronger than that person that's trying to hurt you. If they say, I love you so much, don't you dare hurt yourself, I'm sorry I wasn't around, I care about you. You know what? You don't have to take that. You don't have to feel like you're obligated to care about them even though they hurt you. You don't have to fight when you're the only one fighting. It takes two to fight. You can't fight yourself. It's not like you can punch yourself in the face and make yourself bleed. Well, I mean, you could, but still. You're not weak. If this is hurting you and you feel like you're gonna die, you need to get help while you can. I was in therapy for 5 years, and I wound up in a mental hospital for 5 days because I wanted to be dead. After all the things got done with my mom, I found my dad, and things got really bad again. I started cutting and I wanted to die. Not for attention, not to get your sympathy, but I'm just telling you how it was. Like, I didn't want to be here anymore. And, I snapped. I wound up breaking bones, because when I get mad, I really get mad. And it doesn't take a lot to get me mad. It really doesn't. I have such a bad temper, and it's so dangerous. Like, you don't want to be that kid who has to look themselves in the face every day and say, I broke my adopted mom's arm over my biological dad. You don't want to do that. Every time I look at her, I feel so bad. I feel like such a worthless person. But I know that it was because all that stress and all that emotional pain I was going through, I couldn't take it by myself. So you don't need to get to that point where you just feel like you're going to explode. Because you will, and it will be bad. So, reach out, talk to a friend, get some help, because if you don't, things are only going to get worse for you. And no one deserves to torture themselves every day because they hate everything about themselves. You need to remember that this too shall pass. Good or bad, it's gonna go. And I'm so blessed because I'm lucky I'm even here. And you need to realize that life is beautiful. I'm not just saying this, life is gorgeous, God gave you life. You're here for a reason. You're not here to hate yourself and hate everything and want to die. You are here because you're supposed to be here. I know that situations get hard, and I know that you don't think you can handle it, but you cry yourself to sleep every night and you get so tired. You tell yourself, I'm so sick and tired of this. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this everyday battle that I can't win, that no one understands. People do understand. I understand. If you need someone to talk to, like all of my other videos, I've told you guys, I'm here for you. I will continue to be here for you because I know what it's like to have nobody, you know? And if you still don't have anybody you can talk to, right up there's a man who cares. I don't know if you're Christian or whatever, but God will see you through. And, you're worth something. You're beautiful. And you don't have to take mental abuse anymore. You can get yourself help. I promise.